In this video, we're going to talk about grievance meetings. My name's Alex Monaco. I'm a solicitor, owner of Monaco Solicitors, specialist employment law solicitors for individuals and employees only. So you have been invited to a grievance meeting, or you're considering submitting a grievance, and you'd like to know what a grievance meeting would look like. Of course, by the time you've actually had a grievance meeting, you've already done a grievance letter. We have another video on grievance letters on our website, also on our YouTube channel. You've been invited to a grievance meeting, and you've been also, by and large, you should have been invited to bring a colleague with you or a union rep with you. You're not allowed to bring a lawyer with you at this point because they are not entitled to attend a grievance meeting. So a grievance meeting is quite a formal occasion. By and large, you'll have a manager there. It may be your manager, it may not be your manager, especially if it's about your manager. Then hopefully your company could be using a different manager to hear the grievance meeting. The company may also have an HR person there as well. They probably will do if they're a big enough company, if they have an HR person. You can be sure that the company will be taking notes, especially if the HR person's there. So make sure that you take notes too, just so that you can balance up the account of what really happened. Often, after these meetings happen, the company will send their notes to you by email, and so that's also placed on your HR file. And what you can find is that these notes might not be very accurate. They might have missed out all of your strongest parts, and really they may have emphasized their own strengths and missed out their own weak parts. So make sure you take your notes. Don't be afraid actually to slow things down so you can take notes. Try and make them legible if possible, because that might become evidence later on if it goes to a tribunal hearing. You might be tempted to record the meeting on your phone. That is something that is not illegal. You could get in trouble for that. You might get disciplined, or even in extreme cases, it's possible you could even be dismissed. So just be careful if you do go down that route, but it might help you write up your notes later on the other hand. So it can be quite useful for that. By the time you've got to this meeting, you've already sent your grievance letter in, as we discussed. Hopefully you've numbered your grievance letter. If you've numbered your points, then you can use that numbering in the meeting to refer the other side or the employer to your numbers in your grievance letter. So you can say, now we need to discuss point number 6. Go through point number 6. Hopefully you haven't got more than 6 points, perhaps 7 at most. Ideally, you'd like your points to be mainly restricted to, say, the top 3 or 5 things that are worrying you. And then you might have illustrations or examples for each of those. If you have got colleagues there, they can be witnesses for you, or you might be entitled to bring witness statements. So if you've got colleagues who don't want to attend or are not allowed to attend in person as witnesses, then get a written statement from them. Ideally get it signed as well, and you can present that in your grievance meeting too. Don't talk about compensation in there or any kind of financial settlement for leaving your job unless your boss or the HR or the manager there brings it up first. If they bring it up, they might ask you a question, might sound odd, but they might say, would you consider speaking without prejudice? Now, if they say that without prejudice means off the record, confidential, it means we're going to talk about settlement money. If they ask that question, then yes, by all means, agree to speaking without prejudice. Listen to what they've got to say. So put your listening ears on and take a note, and perhaps tell them you'll get back to them when you've had a chance to think about it. Don't feel pressured into agreeing a settlement right there and then, and try not to set your cards out on the table too much. So play your cards quite close to your chest to give yourself a bit of time to research what you should be getting. If you want to know how much you should be getting, have a look at the calculator on our website. If you want a bit of bespoke advice for your case and the ability to put together a grievance letter, have a go at our award-winning virtual lawyer tool, for which we've just won the 2021 Law Society Excellence Awards. And if you want to speak to a real-life expert solicitor, we have plenty of those too. So please do get in touch and request a free consultation. It costs nothing to ask. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.